Enzyme inhibition is an interesting topic under enzymology. Enzyme inhibition means there are some substances which can reduce or decrease the catalytic activity of enzyme. So you might be thinking, why should we study this enzyme inhibition? Because enzyme inhibition has got a role in a medical field that might really act as an antibiotic or some of the antibiotic which kills the bacteria. There are some applications in the field of metabolic studies, that means to study the pathways. There are n number of other applications for this enzyme inhibition. So we study this enzyme inhibition as a one important portion under enzymology. So let us know more about enzyme inhibitions or enzyme inhibitors. These are the substances which binds the enzyme and brings about a decrease in catalytic activity. So this can bind the enzyme in a reversible manner or irreversible manner. Reversible manner where the enzyme activity can be reversed. If enzyme is bound to substrate, if enzyme is bound to inhibitor, that can be reversed by adding more substrate. So enzyme will bind to substrate instead of inhibitor. So the enzyme can perform normal function. But in case of irreversible inhibition, it is not like that. If enzyme is bound to substrate, that cannot be reversed. For example, a cyanide is binding to cytochrome oxidase. You just imagine. That means when we eat cyanide, it kills us. It's because it's killing the ETC, electron transport chain. You have studied in the earlier semester. The same thing is applicable here, irreversible inhibition. So if inhibitor binds enzyme in an irreversible fashion. So let us move further with irreversible inhibition. The inhibition where the inhibitor binds non-covalently with enzyme, and the enzyme inhibition can be reversed if the inhibitor is removed. So this reversible inhibition can be a competitive inhibition, it can be non-competitive inhibition, it can be uncompetitive inhibition. The possibilities are more. So in this video we study about competitive inhibitions. So competitive inhibition, that means here inhibitor and substrate will closely resemble. It's like a substrate analog. I always used to tell in class, Adidas and Adibas both look same, but they are not same. The same thing here, inhibitor and substrate mimic each other, so it compete with the enzyme for the active site. So it compete with enzyme for the active site. So inhibitor can bind. If inhibitor concentration is high, it will bind. If substrate concentration is high, it will bind. So you can see here, this is the enzyme. This enzyme can bind to substrate here, or else it can bind inhibitor here. So both possibilities are there. So enzyme react with substrate and form enzyme substrate complex, and it forms product. This is a normal reaction. But if inhibitors are there, it can form enzyme inhibitor complex. So enzyme inhibitor complex means, from here no product formations. From this no product will form. So enzyme activity will stop. It's because of inhibitor mimic substrate. So what is the example for that? For example, you take a succinate dehydrogenase enzyme. Succinate dehydrogenase, you studied in metabolism. Succinate dehydrogenase, you are not studied in metabolism. So succinate dehydrogenase, which will convert succinate into fumarate. So, but there is a one more component called malonate. If you put malonate, it can bind succinate dehydrogenase, because you have just look at here, COO groups are there, here COO groups are there, and here also COO groups are there. That means carboxylic acid groups are there in both. So it can bind enzyme. But in case of fumarate, you can see here double bond formations. To form the fumarate, there should be a double bond. That means there should be 2 CH2 groups or 2 CH group. But that is not there here. Only here it is there. So when succinate binds succinate dehydrogenase, it forms fumarate. But if malonate binds succinate dehydrogenase, it cannot form this product, because it cannot form the CH-CH double bond. So this is the example of competitive inhibition. That means inhibition of succinate dehydrogenase by malonate. It's a classical example of what you call competitive inhibition. So if you look at the competitive inhibition, the Km, that is a Michaelis-Menten. Already I explained what is Michaelis-Menten constant. The Km will increase, but Vmax remains change. But how can you tell that? So exactly, you just look at this one. So there are a reaction is happening. So like when a substrate is added to enzyme substrate from rectangular hyperbolic curve, that you can see here, rectangular hyperbolic curve. in the absence of inhibitor. But if you put inhibitor to that, so this hyperbolic curve is a little more, it's changing its shape, but it is hyperbolic curve. There is no change in the Vmax. Initial maximum velocity, there won't be any change, but there will be a change in Km. That means there will be affinity change between the substrate and the enzyme, but there won't be any change in the Vmax, maximum initial velocity. So you can look at here. So this is the origin, and this is the Km value for substrate. This is the Km value for inhibitor. That means it is increased. It is increasing like this. It is increased. Here in case of competitive inhibition, Km value is increasing, but Vmax remains unchanged. So if you take that example and put it in the what you call Michaeli-Menten equation, like V naught is equal to V naught is equal to Vmax into S naught by Km plus S. But if you reverse this, you will get a LB plot, Lineweaver-Burk plot, right, that you studied earlier. So that same thing, if you put if you simplify with the help of that is Ki. So you have seen here, there is a E, enzyme inhibitor complex formation, right? So this enzyme inhibitor complex formation will first order kinetics. So there will be a constant, rate constant will be there. If you apply that, you will get an equation like this. This is the equation you will get. So 1 by V naught is equal to Km plus S divided by Vmax into S. So that if you solve further, so you will get, if you is apply the rule of enzyme, the enzyme kinetics, finally you will get equation for what you call first order kinetics of competitive inhibition. So if you plot this, that 1 by V naught versus 1 by S, if you plot, you will get a Lineweaver-Burk plot for competitive inhibition. So here you can see, you just have a look. This is the 0. That means this side is negative. This side is negative. This side is positive for a graph. If you look at, right? Yes. So then you can see here green color, that is what you call competitive inhibitors, absent. So it's a normal reaction. That means it is far away from the 0. That means it is less. So if it is when you add competitive inhibition, what is happening? The Km is increasing. That means the Km is coming closer to 0. That means it is coming from negative side. It is coming to closer to 0, means it is increasing. But here it is far away from the 0. It is decreased. That is the concept of LB plot. So entire reaction of these what you call competitive inhibition, the inhibitor mimic or analog of a substrate, so it compete with substrate the active site. So this entire process can be reversed if you put more substrate into that. So what is the example? The malonate will competitively bind succinate dehydrogenase, and it cannot be converted into fumarate like how you convert succinate. So that is the example, and we studied what is happening here. Km will increase, but there won't be any change in the Vmax.